Have you ever shown up to the boat ramp, driving through the pouring rain to get there and thought, yeah, these are great conditions to film a fishing show? Yeah, me neither. I feel for the crew on this one.
That is the equivalent of a chicken wing to a human being. That is a freak! Oh man! That thing.
Here we go. Welcome to Facts of Fishing, the show. Brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Abu Garcia for life. Yamaha, conquer water. Live Target, lifelike lures. Action car and truck accessories, the right customer experience. Berkley, catch more fish. And Phoenix Bass Boats. Experience the Phoenix difference.
Hello. I know. You've watched other shows, other sports, they have rain delays. We do not. We do not have rain delays on Facts of Fishing, neither do you when you go fishing. It happens all the time. You show up to your favorite body of water, you book the day off work, you've looked forward to it on your calendar, you can't wait to post pictures all over the social medias, but then you show up to the lake and it's raining and the conditions just aren't what you expected. But you gotta go fishing anyways, because that jerk of a boss isn't gonna give you tomorrow off, and my jerk of a boss isn't gonna give me tomorrow off either, so I'm fishing today in the rain, and we're gonna be shell busting some bass. You know, it doesn't matter where I'm fishing or what I'm fishing for. This is always my favorite part of the day. You know, that first part of the morning, you just get out here and just trying to figure out what they're gonna eat. I mean, we all go out with suspicions, you know, I should be able to catch them this way or that way. And a lot of times the fish change your mind. But that's what's so exciting about this whole sport, if you ask me. You know, you're always learning, no matter whether it's your first time fishing, your 50th time fishing, it doesn't matter. You just always are learning. And that's really what the true excitement of fishing is for me. Oh, got tanked. Oof. That was hard hit. There's one. Oh, big blackie. Dark fish. Oh man, look at that beautiful giant small jaw. Crushed that bait. Oh man, fish number one right there. Dark fish. Well, that is a chunk, and what a way to start the day. I mean, we've been here, what, 4 or 5 minutes? We got our first small jaw, and we are shell cracking that bass with a little Berkley Jester. And that is the way I like to start my rain party. Oh man, what a beautiful fish. We got the first bite, Just gotta get more.
This segment is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life.
Is the world about to end? All the birds. Oh, I just got whacked. Come on back. Oh, I just got rocked again. Come on. Get your stuff together. There's this. Oh, there we go. had to slow down and finesse them a little more than I'd originally planned. This is a giant. Oh, God. Had to get a little more finessey, and it paid off in a big, big way. Oh, look at that, dude, right there. Oh, I had to finesse a little more through the general. Oh, always changing, and they always leave you guessing. You know, you can go out here thinking one thing. You always have to adapt with the situation, and I was throwing that bigger bait, and you know, I was getting fish bumping it, but they just weren't hooking up. Get a little bit more finessey, and it pays off. Always adapt with the fish. As long as you keep changing, sooner or later you're gonna figure out exactly what they want that day. Braided line just really makes this technique so much simpler, just because you can feel the bottom just so much better. But one of the mistakes with braid that you see a lot of anglers make, because the advantage of braid, whether it's a Berkley X5 or an X9, it doesn't really matter, is that it's super thin. So people can get away with thicker line. But I'm actually using 10-pound test braid with an 8-pound 100% fluorocarbon leader. And the reason for that is a lot of people will say, well, 20-pound test is like the thickness of 6-pound test. Why aren't you using that? Well, I'll tell you why. The lighter your line, the more movement you're gonna get with your baits. And a lot of times people don't think about it like that, but the softer, more supple your line is, meaning the lighter it is, the more movement your bait's gonna have, and the more lifelike it's gonna seem under the water. Come on, I'm right in the juice. There he is. I felt, as soon as you feel that bottom, you just feel you're right on the juice. Outside of where these fish are all stacked up, it is all like a mushy grass and mud. But when you get in the right stuff, you can feel it right away. And it usually doesn't take long until one of these dudes comes a munching. There we go. Man, those fish are just awesome. I mean, that's not a Lake Erie giant or nothing like it, because they sure get a whole lot bigger, but man, that is a strong, strong fish. You know the thing about catching smallmouth bass, it just makes you want to catch more smallmouth bass. See how I'm working this bait? I mean, I'm just letting it crawl across the bottom. But you see that little bait, it just, oh, there's a fish right there on cue. That's pretty good. Good timing. But you're just slowly creeping that bait back to the boat, and you're feeling everything on the bottom. What is this? I don't think this is a bass. The way that thing hit, I think we might have something else. An elusive critter. A very elusive critter, the mighty freshwater drum. Look at that beast. Whether it's the elusive freshwater drum or a smallmouth bass, you're fishing the bait the same. Just basically feeling the bottom the whole way back. You know, a lot of times you're fishing a jig, you want to hop it and pop it, but this approach, it's all about just dragging that bait. You see that rod tip's just boom, 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 all the way back to the boat, and then every once in a while, right?
The rods in today's episode were threaded using the RTD rod threading device.
One of the biggest keys with all types of fishing is really just putting yourself in the right position. I always talk about having your rod in the right angle to set the hook, but also in the right position to feel that hit. Got a bit of a cross breeze going now, and if I were to hold my rod up, that wind catches the line. It gives a big bow in the line. So what I'll do is I'll point that rod tip down, keep as much of that line out of that wind, and you're gonna have a much more direct contact with the bait, and you're gonna be able to feel the bottom and feel the bites a lot quicker. Oh, got bit off. I was literally reeling it back in thinking, I need to check my line. And the fish showed me just how badly I need to check my line. There we go. There we go. Man, I talked about it first thing this morning. It's what I love about this sport, just always figuring out what it's gonna take to get it done on the day you're on the water. And I'm really not fishing that much different than what I started. It's just I've made it a little bit more subtle. I'm gonna get this dude, look at him. He's gonna jump again. Are you gonna jump for us again? Yeah, you are. You're gonna jump right in the net. Look at that dude right there. Oh, another chunk, small jaw. And I think we figured out what they want to munch today. They want me to get Finesse? I'll get Finesse. I'll drop a dirty little general down in your face. You see the way you're dragging this bait, and that just tells you why it's so important not to be a bonehead like I was earlier, and check your line. Check it all the time, because I mean, that line is basically dragging across the bottom with your bait. And it's real easy in a zebra mussel rich environment like the Great Lakes to get little dings in that line that will end your day in heartbreak. Oh, this is a good cast. I'm gonna catch one on this cast. And that's ballsy to say that. I mean, on the day we're having, it's not like, I just feel it though. I thought it was first blackened. Come here, dude. Easy. He's angry. Oh, another good one right there. It is so amazing how subtle changes make such a big difference. I mean, I'm not fishing this bait any different. I'm not reeling it any slower. It's just that smaller profile. And I really think the Maxscent that is triggering these strikes. But it's just a prime lesson of something I always say, always keep adjusting. If you're not getting bit, there's a reason why. Keep changing and figure it out, and you'll catch a whole bunch more fish. If I'd have stuck with our original technique, I still think I'd catch a few, but the second I switched to that general, that smaller profile bait, I've hooked up with a bunch more fish. When you do get a hit with this particular technique, the hook set's a lot different than a lot of people may think. You know, bass anglers get that rap for being the guy who just drops the rod and reels down and rears back. Well, you gotta remember your line is already taut when that fish hits. You know, I don't want any slack in my line so I can feel the bottom. So when I do get a hit, I mean, I don't rear back, I don't reel down to it. I just load up the rod, because basically half your hook set is done already. In my experience, a quick sweeping hook set is exactly what it takes to send the hook home in this technique. Creeping that bait back, I mean, every time it just hits bottom, you're expecting to feel that took. Where's fish? Where you at, dude? Oh, this is a strong, strong fish. I've not even seen him. Oh, it's a giant small jaw. Look at that dude right there. Look at that dude right there. Oh man, he was not coming off. There we go. Man, that is a chunk. Oh, that's a big small jaw. Look at the size of that fish. So, so awesome. I mean, you're just reeling that jig and you feel that boom, boom, boom along the bottom as you reel over the shell bed. And then, awesome.
This segment is brought to you by Hook Performance Fishing.
Oh, there we go. It's all about bottom contact. Oh, look at that fish right there. Beautiful, beautiful small jaw. Man, I love these things. Here we go. Hook's right in the top of the yapper where you want them. They're never getting out if you hook them there. Man, that is a beautiful, beautiful fish. Gonzo. Whew. Man, that is so, so fun. But with this style of fishing, like I said, it's all about contact. Contact is key. Every single cast you make with this type of fishing, you're gonna learn something. And that's the best part about it. Whether you're catching them or not, you're going to learn because you learn exactly what the bottom feels like as you creep that bait along. There's a fish. Oh, oh, another elusive one. Target species, ladies and gentlemen, freshwater drum. Most anglers fear this mighty species. Me, I embrace their beauties. The elusive freshwater drum. You do not see these on a lot of fishing shows. And I mean, a lot of people have their theories why. If you ask me, the theory is very simple. Most anglers fear the mighty freshwater drum. Not I. The mighty freshwater drum. Whew. Thought that was a big giant bass, but it was even better. Oh. Yeah, he knocked it forward. Oh, look at there. Look at there. Got you, goby. This is Joby the goby. He's a simple looking creature. That is a baby one. But when bass eat that, they get very, very fat. But that is the equivalent of a chicken wing to a human being. No, I won't do it. I did it. There's fish. There we go. Smoke my little general. He feels weird. Oh yeah. He feels real weird, like a big giant bass. Oh, look at the size of that fish. Man. Just a prime example of adjusting with the fish. I mean, the weatherman may not have been on our side today, but if you're willing to adjust and change things up, sooner or later, these fish will give you hints and let you know exactly what they want. Oh, giant. Another giant leap. Look at the size of this fish. Unbelievable beast. Oh boy. Power. Oh, look at the size of that fish right there. Oh, let me just. Oh, that is a chunk. Wow. What an awesome fish. Saunters away to do what smallmouth do, especially now, and that is grow. I mean, we're lucky. You know, you hear people talk about the good old days. Oh, it's the good old days. Fishing was so good. Smallmouth fishing has never been better in the history of history. Get out and do it. And don't fall over in your boat for the second time in a row.
Dave fished for 5 hours, made 289 casts, and caught 14 fish. It was almost worth getting soaking wet. That's it for the score. Now time for the facts. Dave used a Berkley Powerbait Jester rigged on a Trokar TKSH Pro V Shell Buster Jighead. Dave also used a Berkley Powerbait Maxscent The General on a Trokar TKNJ Pro V Finesse Jighead. Both baits were thrown on a 6-foot 8-inch Abu Garcia Fast Action Fantasista Premier spinning rod, paired with an Abu Garcia MGXtreme spinning reel. Spooled up with 10-pound test Berkley X9 braided line with a fluorocarbon leader. And that's the facts.